Hello everyone, welcome back. This is RandoGEEK. Alright, so we have an interesting article. I'll link it for you down below in the description. Now, I'm a little late on this. This is from a few days ago, but nonetheless, I have to talk about it because it's super interesting to me. So here's what's going on. As we know, T-Mobile has been increasing prices on some of their older plans. Some of the Magenta plans, the One plans, the Essential plans, and even the Go 5G 55 Plus plans. So there's going to be a lot of customers, or has to be a lot of customers right about now that are not too happy with T-Mobile and may have a lot to say to them. So looks like after the announcement, a lot of customers were probably trying to reach out to T-Mobile through chat, and there was an issue. Now, it looks like T-Mobile's chat went down. Now, there's two parts to this. So there's the original story, which, like I said, I'll link it for you down below in the description. And then there's an update. All right, so the original story is that last week, T-Mobile earned the ear of its customers who were surprised by the Un-carrier's price hike announcement after it failed to disclose specifics about the price hike. The Un-carrier has resorted to disabling its chat option after getting a flock of messages. Although T-Mobile already anticipated a backlash by making some of its staff work more hours, which we did cover here. There was a story where T-Mobile was requesting more staff to work, not allowing anyone to take off, offering all kinds of overtime. And that was right before the announcement of the price hike. We weren't sure what it was. We all had a pretty good idea, thanks to the Redditor, who pretty much gave us a heads up that something's not good. Something bad is coming for T-Mobile to want all their staff in place, offering all kinds of overtime. This is not a normal thing for T-Mobile to do unless something big is going down. So, of course, raising prices on OG plans, a lot of customers not going to be happy about that. So we were right. A lot of customers apparently not happy sending messages. T-Mobile's chat went down. So they're saying that as reported by Phone Arena, some Reddit users noticed that T-Mobile's chat option is no longer available on its website. On the app, this also led you to make a call instead of chatting with a representative. The Redditor claimed that the chat feature was removed because the staff couldn't keep up with the requests. There has been an influx of customers who wanted specifics about their plans and whether they would be affected by a recent price hike. And then there was an update, where a spokesperson for T-Mobile reached out to the T-Mobile report to clarify that they did not turn off its Care virtual chat support channel at any time and that it has been running as normal. The company's virtual sales channel that focuses on new customers was off for a short period last week, not related to volume, but it is back on as normal. The report made earlier was based on the comments of a Reddit user. If T-Mobile's chat support is unavailable on your end, blah, 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 you could reach out. So if any of you experienced that issue where you were trying to reach out to T-Mobile through chat, let us know if indeed you did notice that it was gone. This is, of course, a report from a Reddit user, but usually there is some truth to it, even though we can be speculated about Reddit posters, right? People that post on Reddit. There's some truth usually to these stories. I mean, after all, Reddit user is the one that gave us a heads up that this was going down in the first place, that the price hike was about ready to drop, and then a day later it dropped. So, take it with a grain of salt, I guess, is what I'll say here. So anyway, so what's really interesting, though, is so they want people to call, right? That was the idea here, probably because they knew there would be a lot of people threatening to leave, right? So if we could be a fly on the wall for just some of those conversations, what do you think we would have heard? Oh, I've been here for 10 plus years. I'm not paying anything. How many customers do you think threatened to close their accounts if T-Mobile did not withhold the price hike from their lines? How many customers do you think T-Mobile had to basically cater to and provide some kind of nourishment, some kind of deal in order for them to stay? Like maybe with the price increase, we'll give you, I don't know, Netflix free for a year or whatever other perks that they can throw in there. Like, I'm sure they had to do that for a handful of customers. With that kind of volume of disappointed customers, I really don't think they want to lose that many customers, especially at the drop of a dime. So that would have been really interesting to hear those conversations. So let me ask you this. If any of you that are listening to this are a T-Mobile customer, you got the notification that your price is going up, and you tried to reach out to T-Mobile, either through the chat, let us know if you had an issue with the chat, but also if you spoke to a T-Mobile rep, how did that conversation go down? What was their tone? Were they willing to accommodate you in any way, give you some kind of additional perks, maybe, push back the increase for you, like the price hike or any kind of accommodation at all would be interesting to know, because that'll give us kind of an idea of what T-Mobile's been dealing with. And as I said before, I'm not upset with T-Mobile raising prices. I mean, this is the way a business works. And unfortunately, in this economy, all businesses are raising prices. So we can't be mad at T-Mobile for doing that. No one's forcing us to use them, right? So if AT&T, Verizon, or T-Mobile raise their prices, we have the option to not use them. We can go to other carriers. Now, I've talked about the issue with T-Mobile and all the big carriers buying out the competition. That raises a concern, because if we're not happy with T-Mobile and there's no one else to go to but T-Mobile, that's a problem. We're not there yet, but we are heading in that direction. But that's an entirely different problem in itself. Right now, we still have some options. Okay, so we'll deal with the other problems when they come. I'm just giving you food for thought when I talk about that in other videos. Like, it's a problem if the FCC doesn't regulate this stuff and doesn't stop it before it gets out of control, right? So that's an issue. But as of right now, we still have some options. We can go to other carriers, and we don't have to deal with T-Mobile if we don't want to. But my thing here is, like, how do you think this all went out? Like, I'm interested from real opinions. Like, if you guys, real experiences, if you've dealt with it, if you've talked to them, what happened? What did they try to do? Because T-Mobile has always been, for the most part, they try to diffuse the fire before it gets out of control. But, they have been changing a little bit. But I think if it's such a wave of, like, unhappy customers all at once is, I guess, the best way to put it. Like, there's so much negative energy at once coming towards them with all these irate customers that they must have had some kind of contingency in plan to, like, offset some of the loss here, because there are some customers that may just not want anything. They don't want additional perks. They just want to pay what they want to pay. They're hard-headed. And those are the customers that you just can't please. And T-Mobile's better off losing those kind of customers, to be honest, especially if it's just a petty, $2 more per month. Sometimes it's just one customer on one line that, has the loudest bark. It's the little dog with the loudest mouth. Meantime, the pit bull is the one that's all quiet, which is weird. And sometimes things are reversed. Those customers T-Mobile doesn't care about, and they shouldn't. But the ones with the big lines that offer the true value to them, that have like 10 lines, I'm pretty sure T-Mobile would have tried to work with them as best as they could. That's my belief. I don't know. I didn't have that problem because I got rid of my postpaid account with T-Mobile, at least for now. I'm not saying I'll never go back. As of right now, I did. But I have Metro, so I'm still using T-Mobile's network just through Metro right now. So anyway, your experiences are welcome down below. Interesting stuff here. I don't know. I don't know if they did this on purpose. I think they just got so overwhelmed with messages that it caused a glitch. I think it was an accidental glitch. They were not prepared. They couldn't be prepared enough. I think they tried to be prepared, but how people are. Like, they see a price increase. It's like they just see red. They just see red, and they're not thinking. Like, some of these customers are OG customers that don't even know that they have MVNO options. You're talking about some of the older folks maybe that have like 10 lines, like I said, on there. They have all their family on there. They're thinking, now I got to pay $30, $40 more per month for the same exact service. I don't want to do that. Yada, yada, yada. We know the scenario. We've seen it all before. And these are the type of customers that are going to call and rant in your ear. These poor customer service reps got to listen to that for hours. So you would imagine why, if someone did flip the switch, why they wouldn't do it. But I don't think that's what happened. I think it was a glitch. I also think that they wanted customers to call so that there could be some kind of clarification in greater detail, because through chat messages, sometimes messages don't come in correctly, and what's read is not always, so black and white. So, actually verbally speaking to someone, your opinion gets a little bit better understood, and they can kind of, work with you. Like I said, most likely if you were threatening to leave, I want to think they probably tried to work with you in some way. But again, I don't know. Anyway, thank you guys so much for stopping by and watching. And I'll tell you, it's interesting. This is going to be, like I said, a very interesting year for T-Mobile at the end, the quarterly results, just to see how many customers are sticking around. Because, there's a lot of conversations. Some are saying they'll ride it through with T-Mobile regardless. Some are saying, why would you pay more when you can go to another carrier that's just as good, if not even better for you in some cases in your area? Why would you pay more? Why would you be so loyal to a company that doesn't really care about you? And to be fair, neither of these companies care about any of us. It's just a business. So that's, maybe we've had certain services throughout our youth, like like when we were like young. And so we have some kind of attachment to it. And, that's all good. But at the end of the day, companies change. They get taken over by different CEOs. And they're not exactly the same as we remember them. And there's nothing wrong with having a favorite company. Like, we're all guilty of it. But at the end of the day, believe me, they'll drop you in a minute. So we just have to remember that. Like, it's okay to use a company and to have some liking for it. As with anything, at the end of the day, it's just a business, and they're going to look out for themselves. I mean, they even bury their own employees. The CEOs even bury their own employees. What makes you think they won't do it to us? There's not really any love, there for anyone but themselves at the end of the day, So that's what makes it sad, because sometimes, the company, the service is good, right? The service can be great, but the people running it, not the best fit. And we see that often, too many times with many companies. If only the right people would get on board and get rid of the wrong people, so many companies would be better off. But, it is what it is. All right. This time, we're done. As always, I'll catch you in the next one. Bye for now.